Hey, what's up? WCR This is Orange doing another audio. So get the replay paused at the 45-second mark. 1 sec. Water. And I assure you that's really what it is. Alright, so today I'm bringing to you a different kind of audio because I'm doing one on one of my own games today. And I am the lookout. So I'm going to be the orc player, and the reason I'm actually not random is because I was messing around trying to figure out stuff with headhunters. And yeah, through my travels I ended up going, I believe, 9-0. So that was good, and then I started losing because it really doesn't work against elf. At least I haven't found a way for it to work against elf. It works against talons, but once people see a farseer, they usually switch to dryads anyways, and then you're screwed. So yeah, I haven't really figured out much with headhunters versus elf. And I got three elves in a row, and that wasn't good. And then I played a pretty decent orc player in Orc Mirror, and I almost beat him, but Blade Master hit 5, and then he was like one-hitting all my headhunters. It was brutal. So, yeah, this one's obviously against undead on Melting Valley, and this is one of the newer maps, so I will talk about some map-specific stuff. Yeah, when I get into it, whatever. We'll get there. So, yeah, we'll just unpause it. From the 45-second mark. I'm sorry, I just ate Chinese food. Anyways, unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. 46, 47, 48. You guys should be synced up, whatever. So, what I've realized is that most undead players will actually go for fiends. And the reason that they go for fiends is because it's pretty standard, just because a lot of orc players will go with a mass air strategy, and then they'll try and counter the mass air early, stuff like that. That's a little mistake. I should have rallied my burrow. This is actually played on Northrend. I should have mentioned that, so my lag's pretty bad. But, yeah, I think I got 2 or 3 seconds lag. I don't know, it was brutal. That's all I know. So I miss some really easy stuff, which kind of sucks, but I'll point it out and make fun of myself, make fun of him, stuff like that. It'll be good. Melting Valley, one thing to point out is that it's kind of a diverse map. I don't really know if it's good for anyone. I'm told it's good for undead, and it's decent for orc. I'm told it's good for human too, because they can fast expo pretty easily, and it's good for orc because they can stack up their hero pretty quick. And I hear it's good for undead because they can guard across elves easily or something. I don't know. But one thing I will point out is it's kind of a range-oriented map because there are a lot of choke points where you can actually, if you get a couple good ensnares off, you can kind of hide your headhunters behind your raiders pretty easily, and then you can have pretty sick positioning. As far as expos go, it's pretty easy to defend, from what I know, just because the expo is pretty close to your base. Plus, it doesn't really take much to creep it. So, as a human, you can get your fast expo up pretty easily. I go to creep, and the reason I creep is because I actually summon the wolves a little early. Oh yeah, for those of you staff members, you may have already seen this replay before, and yeah, that's our little secret. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, the reason it's good for orc, if you're going the Blade Master, is because you can actually stack up the Blade Master pretty good. Just because you can get pretty decent items off the trappers. The easy gold mine, obviously you can pick off a pretty good item. I believe shops are pretty easy to creep, especially when it comes to knocking down the Ogre Magi, and stuff like that. I don't really know what else to say about the map, but I have found... Oh, I snagged this troll kill. That's cool. What was I going to say? With Farseer first, when you're going up against fiends, on a smaller map you can usually pick off the second Ziggurat, but the reason I didn't is because A, I summoned my wolves pretty early, so I was like, I'll just creep. And B, I lose both these wolves. That sucks. And B, it's a pretty far map, so I'm not going to be able to pick it off. Plus, a lot of people set up the early ziggurat, or the early Nerubian tower to try and prevent any Blade Master harassment, and that just means free wolves. So, that's not good. I'm just trying to deal some damage to the Death Knight, because obviously I can heal my Farseer, because my Voodoo Launcher is going up. Oh, I didn't mention anything about my build. My build order is pretty sweet, and it's a fast tech headhunter build. I missed this around. That was a bummer. That was a bummer. I almost got it too. It would have been sweet. But, yeah, my build order will allow me to fast tech without too major ramifications. Like, there's really not much they can do to me. If they ghoul rush me, I'll probably have a headhunter or two by the time they get to my base. And that's one thing to consider when you're rushing. Like, if you're doing a bottom hunt rush, if it's on a huge map, just remember that your rallied units are going to take longer to get there than theirs. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that, you know, if you're rushing, you're going to be short on units compared to them if they're massing up. He snags that kill. That was too bad. I end up getting the tome, though, which was odd. And then I bail, because I don't really... Oh no, I go for a little more damage on this fiend, try and force him to coil it. But, I think I lose this wolf. And he misses this round, too. That's too bad. That's too bad. But, yes, as far as this strategy goes, it works fairly well against human. It works amazingly against a fast expo, if you go Tinker second and start getting Shaman. And then, obviously, you only want to get, like, 2 or 3 Shaman, and then you want to head into Raiders and Spirit Walkers, just because Spirit Link really kicks ass with Headhunters, because they have like 0 HP. Yeah, they have more HP than Archers, but they also get the same amount of EXP as Dryads, so they kind of suck. Plus, their damage output isn't fantastic. But, yeah, when you're using this strategy against human, it works pretty well. Generally end up with tier 3 battles, but, yeah, that's a little different. It's a different story. In this case, I will be doing a fast expo as well. So, fast tech to a fast expo. I'm not going tier 3 yet, because I want to get my expo up. And the reason I get my expo up is because right when my expo goes up, I set up a second bestiary, which means I can pump out a lot more raiders and Kodo beasts, which means better position for me. And Kodo beasts are great because they add more damage. And the other thing that they can do is they can also devour units. So the unit to unit ratio goes way more in your favor if you have a couple Kodo beasts with you. So that's one thing to keep in mind. With this strategy, I generally set up my expo, and then I set up my second bestiary, and then when I hit tier 3, I set up my second barracks, because that's when I'm going to have troll berserkers, which is when headhunters become pretty vicious. So I like to be able to pump out those pretty quickly. Here I go to creep out the shop. One thing to note about the shop is a lot of people will try and jack you at the shop, and with the 2 troll trappers, not headhunters, they can usually get an ensnare off in your enemy units. I'm going to lose a headhunter in a second. Just wait for it. It's going to suck. But basically I thought I microed it, and then it ensnared something and started focusing, and I was like, no, run. And then it dies. Oh well. But yeah, a lot of people will try and jack you at that camp just because it's pretty important.